Welcome, everybody, to the very first episode of Movie Nights on the Movie Nights channel. Thank you guys for joining us. And for those of you guys who have come over and subscribed over to this channel from MCE, I really appreciate that. This is going to be the first episode, hopefully, of many movie reviews, TV show reviews, reactions, and all kinds of stuff just concerning television and movies. With me breaking down the very first episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I don't know why I keep forgetting that name.
I had that problem too.
Is my man Craig. Craig, how you doing, bro?
Doing good. Looking forward to this series, and think it's going to be a little bit different flavor than WandaVision, but looking forward to it.
Nice. If you guys don't know Craig is from the Half-Ass Reviews channel. Make sure you guys subscribe to his channel as well. I'll leave a link in the description below for you guys to get to his channel. And also joining us for the very first time is my man Calvin from the Statue Fanatic channel. He is the Statue Fanatic himself. What is up, Calvin? How you doing, man?
What's up, man? It is good to be here. I'm excited, man. I'm gonna stay on top of the show, and I watched it last night. I'm ready to go, man.
Nice. So, like I said before, guys, this is the very first episode here on the Movie Nights channel. We have been doing these reviews on WandaVision. We did The Mandalorian before that, and we do reactions over on the MCE channel. But we've decided to bring this over here and just have it on its own. You know, for those of you guys who are really into that kind of stuff, you guys can have it all in one place, and that's what we're trying to do. So, hopefully you guys enjoy this. Make sure you like and subscribe to this channel for more of these type of videos. So, before we get going, what did you guys think about this show so far, the first episode?
I'll go. Yeah. So, like I said, I watched it last night, so it's kind of fresh in my mind. I think for me, comparing it to how I felt when I watched WandaVision, I was a bit perplexed and confused with WandaVision until we all know how that turned out. Just amazing. But I thought this one drew me in right away with intrigue and everything. So I was sucked in from the first 5 seconds of, when they started. It looked great.
Cool. Craig, you feel the same way?
Totally agree. Yeah, they hit the ground running after the intro scene, where Sam was reflecting, but mercy, what a action sequence to kick things off.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that whole beginning, you saw my reaction, I was just like a kid in the candy store with that. I was just like, woo!
I was like, all the WandaVision gripers about action, I was like, all right, you got it.
Here you go, right. Marvel, Disney just keeps blowing me away with the effects in this. This is not a regular TV show. It's just like, sometimes things like that can look a bit cheesy, but this was
top notch.
Intense. Yeah.
Yes.
Top notch.
It's almost got me a little bit sad that not a lot of people are really talking about it right now, or as much. And I think most of that is probably because it's battling up against the Justice League that just came out, the Snyder Cut. And with everybody having to sit through 4 hours of that, they're probably not watching the other one. So, I'm assuming that's kind of what's been happening. But I was like amazed at the special effects, just like you guys. That beginning was just insane.
Yep.
I mean, insanity with that. It was great. It was so good. Now, one thing that you brought that up just a few seconds ago when you said the beginning started with him reflecting. Right. Do you think that it was him reflecting that scene or him reflecting the action scene that happened before it? It's because it seems like you have the scene where he's putting the shield in the bag, right?
Right.
And then you go to the crazy sequence, and then right afterwards, it's him going to that memorial for Captain America, bringing the shield with him. So it seemed like those two scenes kind of joined together, and the other one was the what happened yesterday.
Right.
You feel that?
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree. Like they jumped to the past or whatever, and then back again to the. I think that opening scene belonged with the shield dedication scene.
When I saw him putting the shield in the bag, what it made me think about was, of course, they had they dubbed over Steve Rogers when he was giving him the shield and said, it belongs to him, that whole deal. But I'm wondering how long after his funeral or whatever it was they were having at the end of Endgame did he turn this shield over? Was that a whole lot of time between the time that he gave it to the government? How long did he keep it before he made that decision?
That's a good question. I don't know the exact time frame. I'm trying to piece that together myself. I was trying to look for it. I've watched it already 3 times, so I'm trying to. They didn't seem to say that. They just said that some time had passed, but they didn't really specify exactly when. which I'm hoping you get that probably later on, because they did that with WandaVision, right? It took like 4 episodes for them to finally show us, okay, exactly where did this pick up from
in the timeline.
Yeah.
And because the reason I say that is because, like, there was one point, I don't want to jump all over the place, but there was one point where the government guy was saying something like he did the right thing. So I was wondering, had people been asking him or pressuring him or something like that to give it up? Like, what do you mean he did the right thing? I thought the right thing would have been, you're the guy, but
yeah.
Right.
And Rhodey seemed to have an issue with that. I liked that they had Rhodey in it. That was cool.
Yeah, very cool.
He seemed to have a big issue with that. Like, you're making a mistake, brother. You're making a mistake. He gave it to you for a reason.
Right.
Yeah.
There had to be some span of time there for all these side characters to digest that Sam's on deck.
Right.
Yeah. Which I'm a little bummed how that started. I'm kind of, but I'm kind of hoping that it's just the hero's journey, right? That more than likely, probably by the end of this, he's probably going to assume the control of that at the end.
Of course. I mean, this is a superhero movie.
Yeah. So I'm assuming that's what that is. So back to the cool sequence before we get into some of this other more serious stuff, because one thing I did like about this show was it wasn't all just, a big action sequence, even though there was a huge action sequence at the beginning.
Huge.
Yeah, it took a long time, that scene.
Yeah,
that scene was
huge.
good.
It was badass.
Epic.
Hey, and I'm happy that it was a 40-something minute episode. That was good too, man. So we didn't get the 30-minute episodes. That's good.
I mean, were you sure it was 40 minutes? Because those credits was hella long.
Those were long, but it was 40 minutes. Because I had to record the reaction. I made sure of that. Yeah, so 40-something minutes. It was like 42 or something like that.
All right.
It was pretty dope. The beginning there, where he jumps out of the airplane the way he does. Tell me that didn't give you the vibes of Winter Soldier and when Captain America did the same thing. He kind of just like fell out of the airplane.
Well, not only that, it reminded me of the whole scene in Superman when he does that whole Christ-like thing when he's out.
Yeah.
Remember, it's like that seems to be a theme with superheroes. That whole like I am the savior thing,
Right.
It's dope, man. I like how he did that. And he got the wings out. And I like that they showed a lot more of him, doing his thing as Falcon. Bringing in Red Wing and just that whole sequence in itself was pretty crazy, man.
Yeah, that's just so badass, Red Wing. That when talking to that, it kind of reminded me of Soundwave from Transformers. But anyway, where he sends out those robot.
Where he's able to talk to it. Yeah. My friend had some problems with it. He didn't like that the character, the enemies, all of them for whatever reason had the squirrel suits. Right? Seemed kind of convenient. What do you guys think about that?
Wingsuits, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe not, because you're saying it seemed convenient because they exited the plane. Remember, they had already killed the guy in the plane already, so maybe they were planning to do that anyway.
That's the plan, right?
Right, because the guy who was the pilot was already dead.
Well, I think the thing that bugged him was that it's convenient in that it's in Falcon's element. Like, they didn't jump out of the plane and, I guess parachute down, or I don't know what they would do when they jumped out of the plane. But, I mean, they seem to be like the direct anti to the other one. Like, this would be like having like a reverse Flash against the Flash, right?
Yeah. The only thing I agree with there, my only slight whenever I checked out of it, I'm like going, wait a second, Falcon should be eating their lunch in these glider suits. That was the only thing, but I was like, all right, whatever, and got past it.
And I mean, I've never jumped in and out of anything, out of a plane at all, so I don't know.
I plan to.
Have you ever gotten out of a plane in one of those suits?
Are you out of your fucking mind?
I'm just curious. I'm just curious. Maybe you have, But I mean, I gotta assume that you glide down. How do you go back up to a helicopter or something like that?
Right.
Oh no, but yeah, no.
That's some precision shit.
No, that's base jumping. I mean, isn't that right? There's cliff jumping stuff with those little squirrel suits and stuff.
I think people do the squirrel suits even when they jump out of planes, and they just eventually take and they throw the. I would try that way. Definitely wouldn't do it with a cliff.
Dude, you won't even do it at all.
I would. No, I'm not scared about that. I want to do it. I want to do. I want to do parachuting. Absolutely. Okay. I just don't want to do any kind of base jumping or anything inside of a cliff. That's just stupid. I'm not doing that.
Right. I don't like heights. I ain't doing any of it.
I did it.
That's awesome, man. It's on my bucket list thing. I definitely want to try that at some point. But I thought all of that was really cool. Really loved the comedy that they threw in there at the beginning too, like where he's like peeking inside of the airplane and the dude sees him. That was great. That was great.
Yeah.
And I like that they brought back the guy from Winter Soldier. That was the guy that Cap fought at the beginning of Winter. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So they mentioned LAF, and I kind of wish that Frankie was here. I don't know if any of you got a chance to research that, because I wasn't able to research that today. But I don't know who LAF is. So that's an element, I guess, that he's going up against there.
I mean, that's directly from the comics, though. I mean,
is it?
That group is. I'm pretty sure. But the details about it, no. I mean, there were elements, from what I can remember, just different storylines kind of hodgepodge together, though.
Okay.
And when it came to that, because that whole group I thought was just one guy, and they made it into like a group of people. The fight scene, I thought that was just one character from the comics, but instead of a whole group of people.
Okay. We get introduced to his I guess sidekick at this point. I can't think of the guy's name either. The Diego, I think, was his last name, or who was the intel guy that he had? Torres?
Was it Torres? See, I can't remember, but yes, I thought he was a great. I think there's rumors that this guy might actually become Falcon, right?
Torres will become Falcon?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Once he actually takes up the mantle of Captain America, he's got.
Yeah, I saw that on Facebook that he's a future
I like
Falcon.
I've seen him in other movies. I like him. He has a good delivery of humor. Actually, the humor in this show was really good all the way around. All right,
hate to interrupt.
Forward.
Do you want Frankie to jump in?
Is he here?
Yeah.
Yeah, if he could jump in, that's cool.
And let's go back to that other question about.
Yeah, when he gets on. When he gets on, we can talk about that. So you're introduced to Torres. Him and Torres are having their conversation. I love that Torres is trying to quiz him on Cap and what's going on with Cap. And he's like, did you take him to space? I thought that was cool.
To the moon.
Yeah.
Right. He's on the moon base.
And then when he goes, where you headed? I got business on the moon.
I got business on the moon. Yeah. And then that brings us to the sequence we were just talking about earlier, where you had Rhodey. So the shift changes when they bring in a Winter Soldier, Bucky's character, and Bucky is dealing with post-traumatic stress disorder. He's having issues dealing with the things that he'd done in his past and the memories, and he's having nightmares. Right. I really like the sequence there with him and the psychiatrist. And
yes, that was great.
Right?
You got to let Frankie in, or
as soon as I sent them the link.
You hadn't done it. Okay.
Right. I did send the link already.
Sorry, didn't mean to interrupt.
That's cool.
Yeah, the cinematography on that was awesome. How they did this almost claustrophobic camera angle.
Yeah.
I love that.
I agree. Sorry, this is not usual for us, but we're okay. We're gonna get through this first episode. It'll get better, guys. I promise you.
What happened? What did I do?
No, I'm trying to get Frankie on the show.
Oh, all right.
Frankie's our resident comic guy, so he definitely has a lot of info on when it comes to this kind of stuff.
We call him Scoop.
Yeah.
Scoop McGiggles.
That the scene with the psychiatrist is another reason I am loving these movies so much from Disney Plus, because the quality of this acting, the quality of just the production value of it. It's like you would think some of these people would get nominated for freaking Oscars based on the way that they are, coming across. Yeah. And it was. I thought that was an intense scene, and you kind of felt where he was just struggling with it.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we continue on, just want to introduce my man, Raging Mando. Frankie is in the house. What's going on, buddy? Can you hear us?
He don't hear you yet.
I don't think he hears us. All right, well, he'll jump in a minute. This is definitely an MCU production.
Can he see us?
Yeah, I think he can. And he's gone. All right, he'll be back.
All right.
He jumped out.
All right, he'll come back. So yeah, I was feeling that, man. I like that you could tell that his intensity of not wanting to talk about his situation,
right?
And he hates being probed about it.
So let's talk about how he got there, though. How did he end up in therapy, and how did he end up with this 12-step type program? What is that about? How did that? Is there a reference to the comics to this? What that to me I thought was great, but I don't. It just how did that?
See, that's the thing. I don't have a lot of information about Bucky, the Winter Soldier in itself. It's because I never really was that big a fan of Captain America that I would read up all the comics. What they did say in the show was that it was part of his parole or his what do they call it?
Rehabilitation.
Yeah, well, not rehabilitation, but his I guess
pardon.
His pardon.
Yeah. So he's had this peaceful time that he was in Wakanda. We saw that, right, at the end of Black Panther. So is this that Bucky is prior to him going through this therapy session, I'm assuming, right? So
yeah.
he had to come back from Wakanda to get pardoned for all of this stuff. It does confuse me a little bit. I like that they're delving into it and trying to explain that, and the emotional turmoil that he's in, you can really feel it. I really like that about that scene and where they're going with it. But I was just curious about all of that.
I think the pardon comes into place is because so when he was in Wakanda was before the snap, and then he got snapped, so he was gone for 5 years.
Okay.
He comes back at the end of Endgame, and then he battles the last battle. And then because of that service there, he's being pardoned in the U.S., but he still has to answer for those crimes that he committed
when he was
Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
So as part of that, they're trying to have him get rehabilitated by going to these therapy sessions. And then I think what he's doing is that he's got a list of people that he's either
making amends to
in some way, shape, or form. That in the part where he's in therapy, he's talking about dealing with an ex Hydra agent that he ran into, which I thought was a hilarious scene. That was pretty good. I like when he rolls down the window and he says, "I'm Bucky,"
like he's going through his checklist.
It was awesome, man. He did that great. It did throw me at the beginning, though. It's because at the beginning they show a backflash, and it shows him as the Winter Soldier killing off a bunch of people that it's his targets, and he kills a Chinese man.
Right. Which makes perfect sense once they fast forward and you see him befriend the older guy.
Right.
And that ends up being his
there he is.
Right. Frankie, you good? You good?
Yeah, we're good now. I just want to screw the show up for you. That's
okay. That's okay, man. It's the first episode. We're making it fun then.
And guess what? It's not live, so it can be edited.
Yeah, nah, it's fine. I'm going to leave it in. So, Frankie, how you doing, bro? What'd you think of the show?
I love it.
You loved it?
Good start. Yep, good start. Real good start.
All right, cool. You missed the beginning part where we were talking about the whole thing that happened with the action sequence at the beginning. Most of Falcon's intro to the show. One of the guys they named, or one of the members that they named that he's going after is LAF. Do you know anything about that group?
Nope. I haven't had time to research it yet. Nothing yet.
Okay. All right. So we'll catch up on some more information.
That dude's name is Batroc. Batroc.
That's Pierre. The French guy that he was fighting?
Yeah.
Okay.
The guy that was in Winter Soldier.
That was in Winter Soldier. All right. And in Winter Soldier, I thought he had a little bit more superhuman abilities because he was fighting against Captain America and kind of holding his own there for a little bit.
Yeah. Right.
Well, do you think, isn't he, I don't know, maybe do you know more about the comics, but isn't he sort of a super soldier? Isn't he sort of like Captain America? He went through that process in some way?
I don't think so.
No?
No. Especially when Cap kicked him, that dude went flying. He was done. I think at this point,
for a while.
He seemed to, but then I'm wondering if Cap was kind of like holding back a little bit. You know, he's like, maybe that's what happened.
But who knows what's happening between that time period, right?
True.
Yeah.
So Bucky's dealing with his 12 steps. And we've already talked about that. He killed the.
That whole sequence was great with the
with the psychiatrist, right?
That was so funny.
Yeah,
I thought it was. Really,
there you go with the writing again. Come on.
Yeah, because you suck as a shrink.
Yeah,
you don't talk. I write.
Right.
That was pretty good. I cracked up. They had a lot of good comedic moments in this one, but it didn't feel forced. It just was like a couple hits here and there. I thought it was good, well placed.
Yeah, and she goes, give me your phone. Man, you are one pathetic individual. You have no friends. Nobody.
You've only
Could you
called me.
imagine having a therapist like that?
Yeah, she's straight up.
Only person
cool.
communicating is Sam. Isn't that what she said?
Yeah.
And you're not answering.
And you're not
Not
even
answering.
returning this call.
I'm curious to see how they're going to bring those two together in the next episode or so. Because I heard this season's short, or this series is going to be short, something like 6
Shorter
episodes.
than Wanda?
Yeah. They're going to be longer episodes, but shorter.
So these aren't really
season.
series. These are just movies.
They're like mini movies.
That they broke up, because this is literally a cinematic, a movie.
Hey,
Yeah.
after WandaVision, I am all for this. I like this better than the movies, in my opinion.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely.
Develops characters real well.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yep.
And I think
So-
I was asking a question before we came on, when I was saying, who is this for? Is it for the rabid fans that just want every single detail about, the characters, or is it for people who may not be that big of a fan of all of these characters and all the backstory, but can really enjoy a compelling storyline, that hero's journey, the whole nine, just like the psychiatrist scene and those other real human moments that they have, that people can actually start loving these characters that they don't think of as just being comic book, entities
Right.
with no other dimension.
I'm going to answer you.
that one.
Go ahead, Frankie.
Like, I love the comics. I have a background with it. My wife does not, and she's totally invested in these shows.
There you go.
Like, she
Yeah,
loves
exactly,
it.
yeah.
So she doesn't have that background. So it gets different where I'm sitting there and I'll go, ooh, ooh, and she's like, it means nothing to her, right? It's an Easter egg to us,
Yeah.
but to them, I mean, it's still a good story.
Mhm.
Because I mean, like at the end of this one, she was not happy that somebody else is holding that shield.
Yeah.
She was not happy about that at all.
Right.
Yeah.
That's
That was
exactly
pretty
what I
messed up.
was going to say. That my wife, she would watch them and she was like, too many storylines, too many of this. I don't know the characters.
And it's too confusing.
It's too confusing.
Yeah.
And like, these are so linear in developing characters and make you care about the characters that now she's like, I remember that one movie. Let's go back and watch that now.
Right.
Now she's interested in the other, so.
But think about those lay people that aren't really into comics that get into these dramas like this, because they are really dramatic, not just action movies.
Yeah.
There's a lot of drama, a lot of conflict in these movies that draw people in. And so they watch all of this, and then they go see something like an Avengers movie that's put together with these stories, that these characters that they've been invested in. Then you've got a whole nother group of people who are like, yeah, go Avengers.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
So we don't know how long this can go on for. I mean, if
Right.
you can get the normal person in, it can go on for quite a while.
Absolutely.
What do you guys think about how they flipped it on this show? Because like you have WandaVision that started out with a real screwy story that nobody understood what was going on, and they had a lot of people talking, and a lot of people didn't like it, a lot of people liked it. It was like a mix of things. This one here, you had the huge action sequence that everybody was like wanting, in the other one, and then we went into a lot of
George.
yeah, and then we went into a lot of characters. But I still like WandaVision. But
A lot of people.
yeah. Hey, I like the show.
No, they
but
started off with a bang.
they started off with a really big hit, and then we went into something that we normally don't even think about. It's because like when you get the movies, you're like, okay, they battled against Thanos or whoever the major bad guy is, and then everybody goes home happy. But here, you have Falcon dealing with financial issues with his sister, and they touch on that, and then you got Winter Soldier dealing with the issues of all these memories of hurting people.
Right.
Yeah.
One thing to what you said, back to WandaVision, and I was like you with the first several episodes, but I think there's some genius in that because the show built up to what it did and was such an amazing show, WandaVision, at the end, I think Disney or Marvel did a great job of gaining people's trust. So they're willing to believe, they're willing to invest, even when it doesn't seem like it's going to make much sense. They're willing to invest their time in these stories going forward, because I know a lot of people, the first 3 episodes, I kept hearing people talk about, that show's I'm not going to watch that. And now everybody's just loves it, thinks it's amazing and a pivotal point in the universe.
Yeah, because my daughter and my son-in-law, I kept telling them, you need to watch WandaVision. It's fixing to start, and nothing, right? So then about it was the before the last episode. Now they had to catch up and watch it, because they're like, everybody's telling us to watch it, so now they're watching it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know a lot of people the same way.
And then they were calling me like, when's Winter Soldier coming out?
Yeah.
So now they're invested.
on Facebook, I kept telling everybody, I was like, you're going to get your Marvel cookie cutter. And I was like, and there's nothing wrong with Marvel cookie cutter. It's awesome, but WandaVision was its own thing, unique. And I just greatly applaud that they took risk in it, tried to do something different, and to me, nailed it. A lot of people still don't feel that way and are hating on it. Even today, I was
Are you serious? Really?
Oh, yeah.
There's some people.
I saw today, this is already blown away WandaVision. I'm like,
well, I think people that are saying that haven't really finished it.
Right.
So,
and not only that, I don't even think that you can compare the two on the same type. They told two different stories in two different ways.
Absolutely.
Two different stories.
Yep. Back to Winter Soldier. I like the old man that he's trying to make amends with. That old man.
Yeah, that's just crazy, man.
Yeah,
the whole he's got to carry around.
Yeah, the minute he said about his son, I was just like, this can't.
You knew it.
Yeah. I was like, man.
It's very subtle that Sebastian Stan sold it with his expression and all,
right?
To let you know what was going on. Excellent writing and the way that they acted that out to be subtle, not just with it.
Another thing that I love the acting. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I was just fixing to say another thing is the actors really being invested in this and putting their A game to it. Mm-hmm. Like you got to appreciate that because it can't be easy that these are superheroes. I mean, it's comic books, right? And they're that much invested that they're trying to put on a good performance for it, and we're benefiting from it, wonderfully.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's why I think we need to stick to this format. It's because like what Craig put it on to me the last time is like when I brought up the issue, the thing of how I felt when Tony Stark died, and we had all of these years of Iron Man, and then he dies at the end, and it, for a lot of us, even me, I almost cried.
Almost, really.
Almost.
Yeah, almost. I get watered up, but I don't get all the way. You can't get me over the edge, but I get there. But with these TV shows, it gives us a chance to dive into a character at a micro level, and you get all of this inside of like 6 weeks to 8 weeks, and then you can move on to the next story, and you have a lot more information that's given to you about a particular character.
And they're drawing us in. I mean, we're gonna get so vested in this. It's gonna be an emotional roller coaster, I think.
If y'all get a chance, watch Behind the Mask. It's one that just came out. Like whenever you go into Disney Plus, it's the documentary type, the extra stuff or whatever. It's called Behind the Mask. And in one point of it, the guy said, what, not bashing DC, but he said what Marvel got that DC didn't in the early days was, he said, they introduced us to the person behind the mask. In Superman or whatever, they were just a hero and that was it. Said, Peter Parker comes along. He's a student. He's bullied. He can't pay his bills. So like guy in a red and blue suit swinging off a building. Okay, that's cool. But now, whenever you get all these problems that he has, that's me swinging off the building.
Got to make it relatable.
Yeah. Now this is somebody I can identify with. I care about, etc. And that's where these series are allowing to do.
That's me sitting in the bank hoping you don't deny the loan because I've got so much riding on this. They're depending on me. I've got to be this hero to my sister, and I've given them my word that I'm going to fix this. So that's me sitting there wanting
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
The guy wanting the selfie, but yet.
I know, man. Talk about like no. No empathy, right? It's I'm sorry that I can't give you the loan, but hey, can you make the wings? I was like, really? I was like, come on, dude. Yeah. Oh man, that was
made
crazy.
Me happy when they mentioned LSU in there. I was like,
LSU
mentioned. You know that actor? What's his name?
Anthony Mackie.
Right. He's from Louisiana.
Yes.
Yeah. And
his family has a roofing company.
I'm from Louisiana.
In New Orleans. Yeah.
That's where I was born.
Yep.
Really? Where at?
I was born in Baton Rouge.
Baton Rouge, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So we know it's pronounced Crow, not Delacroix. And when that came up on the screen, I was like, yes, I know that place. Fishing there.
That's cool.
It's like you leave New Orleans, go straight south, and when the road, literally when you run out of road, you're in Delacroix.
Where are you at, Craig? Where are you at?
Remember, I'm in Long Beach. You were at Keesler for a while.
Keesler. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes,
I grew up in
was.
Leesville.
Twice.
Cool.
Yep.
Awesome.
Got like this whole crew
Yep,
here.
we
Just
all
like
Long
one St.
Beach,
Mary.
yeah.
Down there.
Southern
Yeah.
boys.
Miami represent.
Long Beach, man. I can't tell you how many times I passed through Long Beach going to Biloxi, back home to Baton Rouge, to Slidell. Yeah.
I gotta head out that way, man. I
When they threw that up on the screen,
Cajun
I was
food.
like, "This is cool."
Yeah.
So again, identifiable. You know,
Cool.
that everything's not New York, Los Angeles. You know.
Bingo. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just I was really taken back, and we can talk more about it, the human side of this, though, because now we took a character that's not a hero anymore. I mean, he has no bank account, pretty much. He has no savings, and I never thought about it until this show. How do they get paid? They don't all live in penthouses, and only Peter Parker I knew had a job where he took pictures, but the rest
Everybody
of
else
them,
is
like,
rich.
yeah. So that was really awesome.
I love when they do that. They bring the comic book store arguments
Yeah.
to the conversation. You know, 'cause we always got those type of conversations happening in the comic shop.
Right.
Like,
right.
how do they make money? I mean, where do you live? So
Right. And
So-
then it's also, if you can make it interesting and you like tension builds up and they're not in their costume.
Yeah.
I mean, you're doing a good story.
Definitely.
Yep. Yep.
So Torres ends up in, where was he? He was in Russia somewhere, right? Forgot exactly where he went.
The place started with a T, and I don't remember. I remember
Yeah, I
Tunisia.
can't remember.
Tunisia.
Tunisia?
Tunisia.
Is that
Yeah.
where he was?
You should know that one. That's like Star Wars.
Yeah, but I didn't see where he was at. The
Yeah,
reason why I brought that
Tunisia.
up
I
is
suck at geography. So
yeah,
I don't
I'm
know.
like it's somewhere outside of the U.S.
Yeah, across the pond.
It wasn't Miami.
It was not Miami.
And we get introduced to a guy in a mask, man, who jumps out of a building with some money, and he's super powerful. You hear what people are thinking he is?
What?
Oh,
They think he's supposed to be or will be Omega Red. That's one of the fan theories.
Really?
Yeah.
you sure it won't be Mephisto?
No, not Mephisto. Definitely not Mephisto. Definitely not Mephisto.
We got to get on that bandwagon.
You never know.
So much so that it's driving up the price of the X-Men #4, the first appearance of Omega Red.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
it's strong.
So
crazy.
how would he tie into the?
Well,
Mephisto.
yeah, Mephisto ties everybody in. Mephisto ties everybody in. Well,
This
we got
is
it.
where WandaVision ties in.
Right?
Right?
So it's either that. I mean, if he's not, then I'm wondering if maybe this guy is just one of these guys that were in the Winter Soldier program that got out. Yeah, that's what I thought.
That was
it
my
at
first thought.
That's what I
Yeah.
thought. Yeah.
He's hella strong. Did you see that kick or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah, when
yeah.
he kicked him,
Planted
yeah,
the
that was
dude.
bad.
Yeah,
Crazy.
surprised
Curb
he didn't kill
stomp the
Taurus.
dude.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't kill that guy when he stepped on him. But yeah, he looks tough. So people are thinking that it could be him. I don't know if they're just thinking that because of the
Why are
long
they
hair.
thinking that? Is that? I mean, yeah, I don't get that. I don't get the tie-in.
Yeah, I don't get the tie-in yet either. But for the sake that I own that comic book, I'm kind of hoping.
I'm like, George is starting this rumor.
Keep going. No. I'm
Pretty
not.
sure.
I'm not. I mean, I almost sold the comic like 2 weeks ago, and then I was like, I couldn't sell it, and then all of a sudden it's like I go look on eBay, this thing's driving up. So then my friend tells me, he's like, "Oh, that's because people think that he's gonna be that guy that jumped out of the window." I'm like, "No way, really?" And he's like, "Okay." Yeah,
George is like, that guy's Omega Red. And by the way, my eBay is in the
Yeah. The shameless plug for the night. Nuts, man.
I
So
wonder
then-
though if that's just the X-Men thing that's driving that.
People
theory.
are people
You know,
want
they're trying to find
be.
the X-Men villain is what they're trying to find.
Right.
Yeah. People want it to be. People want the X-Men to come. It's like they can't. Marvel
I
can't
want
bring it
them to
out
get
fast
there.
enough.
They can't. Yeah, I agree. They can't get there fast enough. Them and Fantastic Four. See them done right.
Right? Yeah, they definitely need some justice. At least X-Men have had a couple of good movies, but Fantastic Four, boy.
It's
They need some
bombed
help.
every time.
Interesting
Every
that
time.
they got the crowd in with the phones, like, the
Yeah.
app, or whatever. That was
Yeah.
interesting, the modern spin on technology.
And that was a long episode, but it felt short. Just
It's a long
it
episode,
was
right?
Good. It was
It's like
good.
40-something
What do
minutes.
you mean?
Yeah.
Felt short. It was short. It was short. sitting there like, man, I'm next time I watch this, I'm gonna be watching the clock like it's almost over, so I don't get tricked and pissed off at the end. Like,
please stand by.
Yeah, my wife. As soon as it ended, she's like, "Okay, now I'm pissed. That's it."
That's it.
Yeah.
What'd you guys think about the U.S. agent? The way they introduced him.
That was what, dude. That guy. Where'd they find that dude?
I don't know.
It was perfect to evoke the emotions that you wanted to. Like, give me a break, you know.
Yeah. Oh, it did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Felt
And
bad
Sam.
for Sam. Yeah.
Yeah, Sam's regret and yep.
Yeah, and another back to the acting without saying a word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sister sits down. You got to see this. He looks at it, and the way the camera shows him and shows that and shows him, it's like not even saying a word. You just feel the emotions. Like, I have made a major effing mistake right now.
Yep.
Right.
And
right.
he kind of like in his mind, you're thinking this is just not gonna go well.
Right. Because, and then the other thing too. I mean, does U.S. agent even have Cap's abilities?
No, I don't think
No,
so.
I don't think so.
No. Did at one point in the comics, he used to be a bad guy though. Like, he used to be like the opposite of Captain America in some way. Frankie.
Yeah, I think he bounces back and forth from.
Yeah.
So he's kind of anti-hero type.
Right.
Well, I'm thinking he's probably going to be for whatever the U.S. government was, which is definitely not what Captain America was about.
Back to what I was saying earlier about when he said you did the right thing, it almost makes you think that they had this planned all along.
Right.
Because as soon as he hands this over to the Smithsonian, the next thing you see on television is, instead of it being in the museum where everybody thinks it's going to be, it's handed to this character that they have been grooming or planning or training or whatever to do this. Or to be their, I don't know, foot soldier.
Yeah.
And interesting, he had a gun, which Cap has not had
Yeah.
since the World War II stuff.
Absolutely.
I was like, what's that about?
Exactly, because Captain's always he's always the defense
Defender,
guy. He's never,
right.
defender. He's never, so.
But they kind of like from the shot, they made a point to
show the gun.
Show that, yeah.
All the little subtle stuff, man.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm very interested to see how they're going to bring. How do you guys think they're going to bring these two together? Because it seems like Sam is trying to get a hold of him, but Bucky don't want anything to do with anybody.
Bucky's gonna get pissed off when he sees who has his best friend's shield.
That would be an interesting.
Personally, I think it's because they're gonna go hunt that guy down, and he is part of that super soldier stuff, and then that's where that's the tie-in to bring Bucky in.
See, and then that could kind of tie that guy to be Omega Red a little bit, because I mean Omega Red was subject to experimentation that turned him into what he was, And not a super soldier, but I mean, well, kind of. I mean, he was basically the Weapon X program, wasn't it?
Right.
So, so I mean, maybe, but
could be that they just get together over, Sam or Bucky calls one another over the shield. Can you believe this guy? What the government's doing?
Yeah.
Because they had that connection at the end of Endgame.
Endgame, remember? Because everybody, at the end of Endgame, we were thinking, is Bucky envious of what Cap just did? Because did we think that Cap was going to naturally give this to the Winter Soldier instead?
Maybe that's why Bucky isn't responding to him. How about that? What if he does have resentment for that? Never thought about that. Good point there.
But he kind of said, like, go, in that scene, if you remember. They walked up and Bucky told them, go ahead. But that doesn't mean that he doesn't. Yes, in Endgame.
Yeah. And what else would he do with Captain sitting there?
Yeah, true. Right. Doesn't mean he agreed with it.
Yeah.
But true. Huh. Interesting.
Makes you watch those movies again, too.
Yeah.
That's the whole thing, too.
Interaction. Yep.
Shoot, I'm about to go watch this one again.
Right.
Fourth time.
Number 4.
Again.
Yeah.
Love it.
Before I forget it, Mackie was at Civil War, the one good Comic-Con that they've had in New Orleans. Mackie was there. That dude is awesome.
He seems like a really cool dude.
His line took forever to get through, and it's because he was talking to every single person in that line like he had known you forever. Now, part of it was being in hometown, or whatever, but I mean, I came up. I think I can't remember how we got on the conversation, but I was like, he said, "Yeah, I'm from here," or whatever, and which I knew. And we got on the Saints, and he was like, "Yeah, I got season tickets," and he even told me what section he was in, but I don't have them anymore. But anyway,
he's an incredible actor. He is, and he just seems like a really nice guy. Like really cool dude.
Yeah,
so
he was very genuine in talking. It wasn't just like, "Here's your thing, go." It was like he was literally very, very earnestly interested in you.
Yeah. So when I see him play these other roles where he's somewhat of a villain, it's hard for me to see him as a villain. He just seems such like a cool, nice guy.
Yeah.
I can't see him be a villain.
And funny. He's very funny.
Yeah. Like I forgot what the there's a TV show on Netflix, a sci-fi show. He was in the second season of it.
Is it Corbin?
No. Damn it, man! I can never remember the name of the TV show where the people like change bodies. There's like a card that they have in the back of their neck, and they could swap in between people. I'm horrible with this shit. All I know is in that one he plays this character, right? And then I'm gonna look it up. I gotta know. He plays this character that in season 1 the guy was a much more. It was played by the same dude that played a RoboCop in the remake of RoboCop. The actor that played that role, and that actor has a very serious way of acting, and it ended up being a very serious, very action-packed movie. And Mackie just has this really nice guy type of feel about him, So it felt like it didn't fit as well.
Yeah, while you're looking that up, just piggying back on something we said earlier when we talked about DC and Marvel, I guess, and I've always said this, and I know other people have too. But
Altered Carbon.
I
just said that's what I said.
Did you say it?
Yeah,
I didn't hear that. Oh, my
I
bad.
was like, wait a minute.
I didn't hear that way. Yeah, Altered Carbon. My bad. Sorry.
Yeah, when we talk about DC and Marvel, we're talking about these guys being genuine guys, but back to the characters themselves is one of the reasons why I think I levitate more to Marvel characters, because they're all flawed. They all have issues, and they all end up in therapy, or they end up broke, or they end up something, where when you look at the other side of the house with DC, which are amazing characters too, but they're all gods. No one can ever live up to them. No one could ever
the closest you have is Batman, and that's really hard to get find a weakness with him.
Right, exactly. Right. It's just, how do you live up to these, godlike figures or identify with them?
Yeah,
and
I
even
understand.
With that,
go ahead, Frankie.
So even with that, so while I was watching the Justice League movie, that was it felt like a TV show just put together that I was binge watching, and the Marvel shows look like they're like mini movies.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. CG, I was going to talk about in the open sequence.
Flawless.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of the Justice League stuff. I've watched half of it, but I mean, I spend the entire thing going, this is so overly CG'd. In that, and I've made this point in WandaVision and the other, something else we were talking about. Oh, Mando. That how often now I'm getting to where I can't tell what's CG and what's not.
Real. Okay,
Yeah,
so
right.
you were talking about in the Snyder and the Justice League how you could just see the CG. Right. Okay, because I thought you were talking about it in Falcon. I'm like, that was flawless.
No, Falcon was just blew away in a 10-minute segment. In Justice League, I just spend the entire time going, this is the Hobbit CG I'm watching. I'm going to get all sorts of hater comments.
You are because I've been watching Marvelous, Page and others.
Yeah.
Man, people are like they are in. I want more statues. I want more this.
Yeah, they love it,
man. So you are going to get a lot of hate mail.
Yeah, you are going to get a lot of hate on that one.
Bring it on.
I'm kind of with you though on Craig. I was like I liked it a little better than the original one, but I mean it was long.
It's not terrible, but it's not great.
Yeah.
I feel like I can split myself though. So I can sit there and just take it for what it is and enjoy it.
Right.
I have no problem with that. But I can also sit there, if I want to get analytical, then I mean, they could have done a whole lot better with some of those graphics. But I can just sit there and enjoy a movie for what it is.
Well, CGI.
Yeah, go ahead, Tom.
I was just gonna say the CGI things like that don't bother me if there's a great story to back it up and there's something compelling. But if it feels like you told me, George, that you are working to get through it,
Yeah.
Right.
And I think that's what happens. Like if you put me in a situation where I'm sitting there and really paying attention to it. So like in hey, this is a spoiler show, so if you haven't seen the Justice League, sorry. That scene with the Flash saves the girl and he stops to look at a hot dog and you know and I'm watching this and I'm just like, why is he looking at that? And why does this look so weird? And
It was
why
a
is
living meme, man.
Yeah. It's too much for me to focus on. And I was just like, why am I looking at all this? You know, it's too much.
Tell me, every one of y'all didn't think that.
I was cracking up. I thought he was going to take the hot dog and rub it in her face a little bit.
Exactly.
But it did make sense because he was thinking about getting that dog too. So there is a reason why he got it, but they overdid it.
They overdid it.
So how that scene should have gone was just he saves her, but then you saw it in the background or something, but then he pulls it out when he's trying to give it to the dog. That's what it should have been.
Pulls out his wiener.
Yeah.
That's good. That's great.
And cut.
That was awesome.
Seth would have been all over this segment.
Seth would have been great.
Right.
We should have done that. That was good. All right, that's going to be my only thing about Justice League on this one.
You're welcome.
We pulled the Star Wars. We've morphed
into two shows.
Right.
Anyways.
But they ain't going the way it is.
They do.
It's a good show.
It is. I hope they keep going. I saw somebody try to compare it to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I don't agree with that. I think Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. was definitely
a TV show.
Yeah, it was a TV show.
It was a TV show.
And it was good.
It started off good, and then it went off the rails.
It got good too in the middle there. I did, if you keep up with Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., like I think season 3 or 4, they got back, and then they had some mess ups later on. But it was very much like a TV show, like what Calvin said.
They started losing me when they turned her into Quake.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's when they started losing me.
But she's hot. I could watch her do whatever.
So I guess you're
These
watching
are
the Powerpuff Girls
cinematic. These Disney Plus series are cinematic.
They are.
Yeah.
They definitely,
they can. I can see why they're only 6-10 episodes. That's a lot of freaking money because you're having the same actors that are making millions in the movies that you're bringing into these TV shows that you don't have people buying tickets to go see.
I know. How are they making the money? That's what I mean.
No, they just up the
Because
price
they
of
charge
Disney Plus.
the price of that, but not only that, when a new movie comes out, you got to be a Disney Plus member and plus buy the movie.
Well, yeah, that's if it comes on Disney Plus, but they're being pretty strict about the Marvel stuff. They're not putting that stuff on. That the movies are actually they're going to hold off to put in the theaters. So
they're going to force you to go to theaters, man. Everybody who never even would have gone to see a theater movie will go because they've been so invested in these shows. Like they got to go see what happens.
I'm going to guess they're going to get us hooked on all this style and then pay-per-view it.
I can do that too.
Or buy the series.
Yeah, I'm all. I don't mind. I mean, going to the movies is great, and I don't mind staying at home watching.
Nope, me neither.
I don't. I have a really nice movie room and sit there with some popcorn, and I think I enjoy myself more now staying home. Not just because of COVID, but even before that, I like the home theater setup that I have.
Yeah.
The only thing I miss about the theater experience is the, especially when you go see on opening night, the fans, man.
Yeah,
that's the only thing I miss. If it's the very first showing of the opening night,
right?
Yeah,
those are the real ones in there.
Right.
Other than that,
if you don't go, then
next to you on his phone, it's like.
Infinity War. A story about that fan reaction is something I will never forget, and I still hear it in my head whenever I see Infinity War. Thanos sits down at the end. He sits down in the sunset and he smiles. I mean, the theater's, you can hear people sniffling.
Right.
Everything, theater's dead silent. And this lady directly behind me goes, "You bastard." The entire theater broke out laughing. And it's still like, every time I see that scene, I'm like, "You bastard."
I love the fans, man. Opening night fans are the best, bro.
Yeah,
they are the best. They show up in costumes. They scream. It's a sporting event.
I did. I showed up.
It is. Yeah, you're right. It is.
I did.
It's a sporting event, man. I love it. So that's what I miss. But yes, being at home with and being able to watch it multiple times, I'm all right with paying the $30. I could watch it 5 times in a row and not have to worry. Get my money's worth that way. So,
Right.
Yeah.
but yeah, so I'm absolutely looking forward to the next episode. What about you guys? What do you think? Any thoughts of theories where we're gonna go besides of how they're gonna meet up? Anything?
No, I just want to know who's going to be the next couple characters coming. I know we got Sharon Carter. She's going to be, so they'll probably flesh
Zemo.
her out a little bit.
Zemo.
Zemo. Hopefully, another hero come in and then flesh that one out. Give a little background, get a little deeper in their history.
Another thing that makes, I'm not bashing DC again, but makes like Zemo in Civil War, you got what his deal was. You sympathize with him.
Yeah.
Versus watching that movie, I'm like, I don't know anything about these characters. I'm not giving. I mean, they gave a little bit of exposition, but I can't wait to see Zemo again to see, what's his deal this time. Where is he evolved to? He's an interesting character. Give me some depth to identify with this dude, even if he's crazy.
True.
You get that he lost his whole family and he's blaming superheroes.
Mm-hmm.
True. All right, man. Well, guys, that's it. So thanks for joining us for another episode of Movie Nights. First episode of Movie Nights on the Movie Nights channel. And tune in next week. We're going to be talking again about the second episode of Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Possibly some other shows throughout the week. I don't know yet. I kind of want to get into doing reactions of the Superman TV show because I'm liking Superman and Lois.
I love that show. That show's good.
Talk about, you say like the movies are doing it wrong with DC. You have got to check out Superman and Lois. That is a very good TV show.
Yeah.
And yes, and it helps you sympathize with a god like Superman. So, it is a very good show. I'm enjoying it a lot.
McMahon's Superman, a DC fan.
Teenagers are everybody's kryptonite.
Yep. you guys got to check it out. It's great, man. It's
Especially
great.
if you're a father of one.
Yep.
Yeah, it's great. I mean, like last night I got done with with my live show with my friend. It was 10 o'clock at night, and I threw that on, and I was able to stay up for the whole thing. It's a great show. You guys got to watch it.
What episode are they on now? Just curious.
Episode 4.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait for a little bit.
Yeah, really good though, man. Check it out. So thanks, guys, again for joining us. Tune in next week, like I said, and until next time, keep it marvelous.
Keep it marvelous.